Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our September 9th, 2025 Madison County Fiscal Court meeting. This is a regular scheduled meeting here at the Berea Annex Council Chambers at 304 Chestnut Street in Berea. We always want to thank our mayor of Berea, Bruce Fraley, and the council for allowing us to use their space when we get to come down and have our fiscal court meetings here. It's always great to be in Berea. This time I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs.
Here.
Master Lockmuller.
Here.
Master Hughes.
Matey.
Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite Kevin Slimp from Berea Baptist Church up to lead us in a word of prayer. Thanks for being here, Kevin.
Honored to be here. I realized that I did not realize that today is Talk Like a Pirate Day, so I apologize. I won't be praying like a pirate, but let's pray. Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day, this picture-perfect day. We praise you, creator of all. We praise you that you have created us in your own image, and part of that means we're creators too. We thank you that as part of this creativity you've entrusted to us, you've given us influence. Lord, help us to recognize the influence entrusted to us by you, whether members of the fiscal court or any of us. We've all been entrusted with influence by you, and we're accountable to you for what we do with that influence. So, Lord, we humbly ask that you give each of us wisdom. Please give each of us compassion. Please help us to make decisions, whether as part of a fiscal court or whether just in our private lives. Help us to make decisions that reflect love for you and sincere love for neighbor. Thank you, Lord. We lean on you and depend on you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, if you will, lead us in pledge.
Can we stand, please? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
See you.
Members of the court, y'all have had a chance to look over our previous meeting minutes. That was our August the 26th regular scheduled fiscal court meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve, please.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. Call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, something that's a little bit out of fiscal court character, but it's always a great honor to have some hometown heroes, is what I'm gonna call them, to be able to come back home. His musical talents, I think, go from the Gulf Coast all the way up the East Coast throughout the year. And we have our very own Bobby Fugate with us today. It's an honor to have him. The meaning of his song, we were honored to get to have him at our courthouse ceremony that we had. He's back this week because of the spoon bread, and I think he's going to be performing at the spoon bread, maybe an announcement of the song. But Bobby, if you will, please come up. Give us a little testimony, just so people in Madison County can have a recording of you and the path and the journey that you've been on. And I hope this song has a lot of meaning to those. I hope that this is the most watched fiscal court meeting in the history, or at least the first 10 minutes. You know, it'd probably get boring after that. But
Well, folks, my name's Bobby Fugate. I typically go by Bobby James. It's my middle name. That's easier to pronounce for everybody. So thanks, Reagan, for having me. I appreciate any platform to do my music, to be honest with you. I'm a Berea boy, but I've burned up every road in Madison County growing up here, so I'm partial to Richmond as well. I moved to Nashville in 2003, and I lived there 17 years, writing my own songs, pursuing publishing deals, and all the things that people go for there. But I ended up taking the independent artist route, so I'm getting ready to release my 7th album independently. It's called Madison, about Madison County. So 2020, when the world shut down, I moved back home, and I think we was all trying to figure out what was going to happen. So upon doing that, I had boxes piled up in my house, and I wrote down a verse and a chorus to this song, and I was just anticipating getting back home, because every time I would come in to visit, it was mainly time for my family. So I really didn't drive around much, get to see many people, but So when I came back home, I was visiting my sister, and we stumbled upon a house that's for sale. I'm like, some things just fell right into place. So I'm like, well, looks like I'm coming back home. So began to get really excited about that. When I moved back, I moved off a 4 Mile road when I first got back. And now I'm in Berea, which August of this year was a year. So back home for me, I'm a Berea boy. So this song's called Madison, man. I wrote it for just all my friends and everybody that's kind of followed my musical journey over the years. And they continued down on my music and support what I do. So this song's called Madison. Hope you like it. There's a back road back home with my name on it. There's a front porch cup of coffee with my mama. Yeah, my sis and I gonna take a walk. Tell me about the hometown talk. Catch me up on what's going on since I'm gone. In Madison, back in Madison, my old man's gonna fix everything that's broke. On that house I bought out there on 4 Mile road. There'll be football games and fly balls with my nephews and brother-in-law. So good Lord knows they'll be all grown up before too long. In Madison, back in Madison, this old Rocky spinning round, son. Life's crazy thing we call life keeps doing what it does. Sometimes it don't make sense. You make it round the bend and you find yourself right back where it all began. In Madison, back in Madison. Can't wait to see how everything's changed. Heard if you head downtown, there's maybe one bar left on 2nd on Main. I bet somewhere there's some buddies of mine hitting the lake, wetting a line, playing a weekend gig or two, just like we used to do. Wow, it's so rocky, spinning round, son. This crazy thing life keeps doing what it does. You forget how long it's been. It all makes perfect sense when you find yourself right back where it all began. In Madison, back in Madison. Sometimes you find yourself looking around for that something else you thought you found and never knew where they kept it. Was right where you left it. In Madison, back in Madison. In Madison, back in Madison, back in Madison, back in Madison. Here's a back road back home with my name on it. Back in Madison. Good to be home.
It's good stuff. Makes us proud.
Bob, we appreciate you writing a song about the way we feel about our home. And you put it to words in music, things that we can't say, or wouldn't try to, but we appreciate that. That means a lot, so thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the meaning of it is just remarkable. So, and especially when you know your nephews, and I know your honorary brother-in-law, your sweet sister, no 4 Mile Road. Remember the lot more than 2 bars on 2nd and Main? Yeah, yeah. So appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you being here. First order of business today is we're going to have I think, Chief, you're coming up. We're going to have a fire department and volunteer fire departments update from our very own Fire Chief Tim Gray. Chief?
Good morning. I don't believe I can follow that act, but that's a
Well,
good-
don't
good
try.
job.
You didn't
Don't
put
try.
You didn't put yours to music this morning?
No. I'll go through the 5 volunteer agencies we have in our county and our run statistics for the last year from July the 1st, 2024 through June the 30th, 2025. And I'm going to compare it back to the last year's calls also. Starting out with the Kirksville Volunteer Fire Department made a total of 180 calls for service. Last year, I think they had 157 calls. So that's 23 more calls this fiscal year than last fiscal year. Of those, 43 of them were car accidents, 27 were assist to EMS or other agencies, 6 grass fires, 9 line downs, 5 fire public relations, 17 fire alarms, 32 tree fires, 5 structure fires, 2 vehicle fires, and 2 water rescues. Those are some of the highlights of that department. Any questions over Kirksville? I think they're in Tom's district out on Highway 595, just past the caution light in the old Kirksville Elementary School.
The only thing I'll add, Chief, is that Kirksville Volunteer Fire Department working on a CDBG grant. I think we got something. Well, I saw something in my email this morning
Correct,
where
trying to get a new station.
they're trying to get some upgrades to a new station, and we've got something coming up in our next court meetings that we'll have to document, that we'll have to approve, and but just for everybody's knowledge at Kirksville.
The next department's Red Lick Fire Department. They made a total of 136 calls for service compared to 108 in the 23-24 fiscal year, which is an increase of 28 calls overall. In those calls, they had 36 car accidents, 2 farm animal rescues, 16 assists to EMS or other agencies, 1 forest fire, 9 grass fires, 10 fires, just common fires, 7 power line downs, 3 fire public relation calls, 4 fire alarms, 1 search and rescue, 3 structure fires, 18 tree fires, 4 vehicle fires, and 1 water rescue. And that's in the Red Lick area. I think they're down behind the Baptist Church on Red Lick Road, where their station is located. Any questions over Red Lick? Moving into Union City Fire Department, made a total of 138 calls for service, which was 115 calls the previous year because they're up 23 calls. In their area, they had 34 car accidents, 10 assist to EMS, 6 grass fires, 5 illegal burns, 7 power line downs, 4 fire public relations, 13 fire alarms, 1 search and rescue, 5 structure fires, 19 tree fires, and 5 vehicle fires.
Hey, Chief, is the assist to EMS, are those just strictly lift assist, or could they assist them in other ways?
Well, they'll be lift assist, or they could be a medical emergency that the fire department got called out for also, that
Okay.
they would be the first responder on scene.
I got you.
It's categorized through 911's call data as the same. It comes in. That's where all this come from, is actual 911 CAD entries.
Yeah.
Any other questions over Union City?
So this data come from 911.
Yes, these are all 911 official CAD calls.
911.
Yep.
Well, it shows an organizational value in keeping this
Right.
data.
Right.
Moving into the Waco Fire Department, Waco made a total of 364 calls for service, which was 386 last year, and that dropped by 22 calls. But in Waco's call for service this year, they had 126 corner transports, and last year they had 206. So if you take that out of there, that's 238 calls for service, actual fire calls that Waco Fire Department responded to this past fiscal year. In those, they had 60 car accidents, 32 assists to EMS or other agencies, 1 forest fire, 10 grass fires, 14 other fires, 12 power line downs, 21 public relations, 14 fire alarms, 7 structure fires, 22 tree fires or tree down, and 6 vehicle fires.
Public relations, Chief, are those going to visit a school? Like they,
Those
for
are
instance,
any,
Waco, go to Waco Elementary School, volunteer,
those are any time they
fairgrounds.
call out of service to do another, not strictly a fire-related incident, but maybe they're going to the fairgrounds to stand by, or they're going to do parking at another event in the county, or
Okay.
something that it calls them out of service. It's a public relations.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions over Waco? Moving into Whitehall Fire Department, Whitehall made a total of 462 calls for service, which last year was 405. They're up by 57 calls. Whitehall had 140 car accidents, 1 animal rescue, 88 assists to EMS, 18 grass fires, 1 hazmat, 16 other fires, 8 line down, 17 fire alarms, 3 search and rescues, 12 structure fires, 44 tree calls or tree down, 25 vehicle fires, and 7 water rescues. That just shows the geography of where they're located and covering I-75 and that corridor. Any questions?
And they're working on a new station.
They're reworking their station. It'll be
Station.
back at the same place it was at, but yeah, they're upgrading their station facilities.
Yeah, I noticed they had their frame up.
Where are they currently operating?
Currently, they're stationed at Station 3 behind us. EMS has got a storage building. They're keeping their stuff in that storage building, responding from Keeneland Drive, same place we are and behind us. Any other questions over Whitehall? Moving into Madison County Fire Department, Madison County made a total of 2,316 calls for service. That's down 36 calls from last year. We had 2,352. But in those calls of service, 1,143 were controlled burns. So last year we had 1,344 controlled burns. So that was 201 less controlled burns we had called in this year than we did last year. So that left us with a percentage of, or a call number of 1,173 calls. That averages out to a little over 3.2 calls per day. So of those calls, we made 336 car accidents, 3 animal rescues, 190 assists to EMS or other agencies, 2 explosions, 1 forest fire, 27 gas leaks, 45 grass or field fires, 2 hazmats, 27 illegal burns, 53 fires, 46 power line down, 6 lockouts, 4 public relations, 126 fire alarms, 6 search and rescues, 42 smoke or odor of smoke, 24 structure fires, 27 working structure fires, 129 tree calls, which was up 51 more calls. Last year we had 78 tree calls, 43 vehicle fires, and 9 water rescues is what the county fire department responded to this past fiscal year.
Chief, I don't have my glasses, so I can't see everything that you've said. But from memory, you said that there were 2 explosions.
Yes.
What were those?
They were probably, that I know of, probably wasn't nothing, but they come in as an explosion. Somebody's heard a loud boom, they tone us out of an explosion. I don't remember anything that was significant that we went on that was actually an explosion, but it may have been somebody had a control burn in a paint can or something of that similar, may have blowed up and a neighbor heard it and called it in. It gets called out as an explosion through the CAD, but we had no major explosion that we responded to in the last fiscal year.
Also, through all the different agencies, I did see that there were a lot of water rescues. What typically do those involve?
The one at Red Lick was, we had a lot of rain and had a vehicle tried to cross the creek off Red Lick Road and it swept them down in the creek. We had to rescue the passengers out. Some of them were water rescues like on Union City Road where the water gets over the roadway, heavy rains, and people try to go through that water and their car stalls out or they get stuck and we have to go in and rescue those people. That's typically what those are. Some of them, 1 or 2 of them may have been a boating accident on the river that they went and had to tow somebody back in. That's a water rescue also.
Yeah, thank you.
This control burn in the county, that's 1,100 control burns.
Yes, for the last year.
What is,
That's anybody, if you want to do a control burn, we ask for you to call into 911 and give them that information. It's kind of like a burn permit, so to speak, that we know that you're burning in case your neighbor sees the smoke and calls 911. They don't send us out because they've already got record if you've got a control burn there.
And what does it take to me a controlled burn? I mean, if you're just burning,
Only thing you can
brush
burn
pile?
is natural wood,
but if you're gonna
leaves,
burn a
grass
brush pile, you
clippings.
should call 911 and say, hey, I'm starting to
Correct.
burn a brush pile.
Yep. And that number's 859-624-4776, and they'll take your name, address, callback number, the phone number. That way, in case somebody sees or calls it in, they won't send the fire department out unless you actually call back and need us.
Yeah.
Chief, where are we at right now with the weather on burn ban?
We actually don't have a burn ban. We're getting ready to start into the fall state forestry ban, but we've not really had that many grass fires with the weather we've had, which is surprisingly the education that we've put out over the past years, and people are more aware of and take note and try not, and even when they call in, that's the reason we ask for you to call in and do a control burn. That way we can advise you of the weather status, and if we'd rather you hold off till we get adequate rainfall.
Thank you.
Looks like we do a lot more car accidents than we do actually responding to them.
We do quite a
Fire.
few vehicle extrications and auto accidents.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Anyone else? Appreciate you, Chief.
Thank-
Thanks for the update.
Thank you
Yeah,
all for the
good.
support you all give the fire department. Appreciate you.
All right, next is a proclamation recognizing Constitution Week, and we have quite a few here with us today. Really appreciate all y'all being here. I'm going to ask y'all to come up. I'm sure there'll be somebody that'd like to say a word or two, and then would love to get a picture. And Bobby, in the transition, we'll sort of move that out, and we'll move that table up. So I'm going to try to announce. I hope I don't leave anybody out, but I've got a list of names that are on my paper. So I'll try to start with Kathy Moats, Regent 5th District DAR State Officer. We got Deborah Parsons. You're not going to get up and raise your hand and show everybody you're here? No? Okay. Deborah Parsons is the Jemima Boone Chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. Susie Durr is here, Regent Jemima Boone Chapter, DAR. Joan Keith, Berea Laurel Ridges Chapter, National Society DAR. Sharon Graves, Boonesboro DAR. Lynn Black, Boonesboro DAR. Debbie Frazier, Boonesboro DAR. And then Mary Lois Kearns, Boonesboro DAR. Did I get everybody, or have I left some out? That's who I have on my paper. If I did, you can say who they are so we can recognize everyone. At this time, let me read the proclamation. I'll let you say a few words. Whereas it is the privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 237th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 14th through the 20th as Constitution Week. Now therefore I, Reagan Taylor, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the County of Madison and the State of Kentucky, and the Madison County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim the week of September 14th through the 20th, 2025 as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. On behalf of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution chapters of Madison County, Berea Laurel Ridges, Boonesboro, and Jemima Boone, I want to thank the members of the Madison County Fiscal Court and Judge Executive Taylor for recognizing the importance of Constitution Week with the issuance of this proclamation. It is especially fitting during the American 250 celebration that we celebrate this 238-year-old magnificent document and reflect on the privileges and the responsibilities it involves. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate what you mean to the community. Next is a proclamation recognizing National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week. And Brandy, do we have Brandy? Hi, Brandy. Brandy Maggard is Data and Assessment Specialist, Madison County Adult Education. And Brandy, if you've got others with you and you want to recognize them too, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah. This is Anastasia Langford, and she's our volunteer.
Okay, good. If you don't mind, Brandy, I'll read the proclamation, then we'll let you say a few words and we'll get a picture, okay? Whereas more than 43 million Americans can't read or write at the most basic level, while 62.7 million lack basic math skills, as well as the credentials and skills necessary to succeed in post-secondary education. And whereas every year, 1 in 3 young adults drops out of high school. And whereas American Action Forum estimates that America is short an estimated 7.5 million private sector workers across all skills levels. And whereas adult education programs contribute to solving these challenges by helping Americans move along the continuum in their educational journey to achieve basic skills and get prepared for career and college. And whereas adult education programs, in high schools and adult schools, community colleges, and community centers offer low-cost, high-value programs that upgrade the skill set of our citizens. And whereas Madison County, Kentucky celebrates Adult Education and Family Literacy Week as a proud participant in the National Educate and Elevate campaign, which helps our citizens learn about all their adult education options to attain their professional and personal goals. Now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, Madison County Judge Executive of the Madison County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim the week of September 14th through the 20th, 2025, as Adult Education and Family Literacy Week.
Thank you. So education is more than a diploma. It is confidence, opportunity, and a pathway to a brighter future. Here in Madison County, we have seen that truth come to life. In the past fiscal year alone, 54 adults from our community achieved their goal of earning a high school equivalency diploma. Each of those diplomas represents hard work, resilience, and the start of new opportunities for individuals and their families. This year also marks exciting growth for Madison County adult education. We are proud to announce a new partnership with the Madison County Public Library, which now serves as our fiscal agent, strengthening resources and community connections. We are expanding in-person GED testing in both Richmond and Berea, making it more convenient than ever for learners to reach their goals. And we are thrilled to be working on launching a new family literacy program, reminding us that when parents learn, children learn, and families thrive. National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week is a time to honor not only the courage of adult learners, but also the dedication of our teachers, staff, volunteers, and partners who make these successes possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge, I just want to say that thank you, ladies, for coming today. We appreciate everything you do. I personally was shocked to see that 1/7 of our population can't read or write. I mean, that's just an astounding figure. So we certainly appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, thank you all very much. Appreciate it. I couldn't agree more, Tom. Those are,
That's stunning.
yep. It's a little scary, really. Yeah. All right. Thank you all. Next is Resolution 2025-080. It's decommission of CSEP property. Jill, good morning.
Good morning. This is a resolution authorizing the judge executive to execute documents required for the decommissioning of CSEP property and transfer of the same to the county. Whereas certain infrastructure was purchased using federal funds as part of the Chemical Stockpile Emergency Preparedness Program, or CSEP, for the public safety of the citizens of Madison County. And whereas CSEP is nearing an end, and whereas it is the intent of CSEP for the above referenced infrastructure to remain in Madison County for the benefit of citizens of Madison County upon assurances from the county that said infrastructure will continue to be used for public safety purposes. And whereas the county desires to retain said infrastructure for the public safety of the citizens of Madison County. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive and/or his designee to sign such documents and make such assurances regarding the county's intent to continue to use said infrastructure for public safety purposes as is required by CSEP and/or the Kentucky Department of Emergency Management.
Thank you, Jill. Members of the court, you've heard Resolution 2025-080. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve, second. Any discussion? Jill, can we talk? I want to talk, just a reminder. I think this is good for the record too, because obviously the FEMA funds that came down through the years, they came down to Kentucky EM. Then I think we're the subrecipient or sub-subrecipient. It might not be the exact terminology, but my point is that now that CSEP is over, there has to be an inventory and a record of where this infrastructure is, where these tools of keeping our community safe are. Some of these things are being transitioned over to other agencies that then have to follow the same 2 CFR rules that the federal government puts out. And so there's got to be an inventory. So can you talk a little bit about that, just to make sure that this court understands that a court in 10 years, that there's a record of it?
Of course, just as Judge Taylor mentioned, a lot of the public safety infrastructure and other infrastructure that was purchased through the federal CSEP program over the course of the last 30 years it came down the way that the grant works, which it is actually a grant that comes down from FEMA to Kentucky Emergency Management, and then we are the subrecipient of that. All of that has to be accounted for, and there are certain guidelines that are in place from the federal government that says how that equipment shall be used, how it shall be maintained, and how it shall be disposed of or decommissioned in this case. And so things such as remaining in inventory, a property book has to be able to be evaluated. So there are certain pieces of equipment. I'm going to talk a good example is our 9 tower sites around Madison County. Obviously, those are on county property, and that pieces of equipment shall always be used for the purposes of public safety. But there's a process that we all have to go through, whether it's us or any of our partners at the city or other agencies, in order to make sure that you maintain those records so that they can be audited for the life of the equipment or infrastructure.
Now, there's a value amount too, Jill, and I can't remember if it's 3,000 or 5,000.
It's 5,000.
5,000. There's a value. Anything that's over $5,000 always has to be considered on the inventory list, being maintained. There are some things that we know today that we have in infrastructure that will never be under $5,000, to where that becomes kind of a property of the county, and you do not ever have to worry about listing it on the inventory list, right? Or it gets decommissioned. I can't remember
So everything that was purchased with CSEP funds has a couple of different paths that it can take. Everything has to either be dispositioned or decommissioned to the agency, another governmental agency. You can't give it to a private entity, I guess is probably the best example. So you have that option, or it remains as part of, it can be decommissioned to the county itself, and it would remain with us for perpetuity, I guess you could say. A great example, again, is a radio tower. We know that a radio tower is never going to be less than $5,000 in value. So you can't dispose of something until it has less than $5,000 of value, Or if you do and you put it on Gov Deals, for a good example, then you would return that money to the U.S. Treasury and to FEMA.
Yeah.
So if we were to decide, I shouldn't even say this, but to do that with a piece of equipment that's greater than $5,000.
I think a fire truck's a good example. Chief's here. Chief was here. It's all right.
He has representation.
Yeah, he does. But a fire truck is a good example. You know, that's something that I'm sure a fire truck's never going to be below $5,000 value. So
Correct. So there's a certain processes, and there's a book, as you mentioned. There's a pretty hefty book, and thankfully Brooke has been in this in the weeds with us in terms of making sure we do this and do all of this appropriately. And then we work alongside our partner agencies who are also the recipients of some of that equipment, whether it be a fire truck or decon trailers or different things that are going to another agency, the city of Richmond, the city of Berea. You know, both have been recipients of things that we have decommissioned to them. But for some of the real property, which is kind of what a little bit of this covers, is that this will continue to be used for the purpose in which it was designed, which is part of the requirements from 2 CFR.
And we're not responsible for those other agencies that we decommission stuff to for their audits or anything that.
Correct. So they essentially sign an agreement with us that'll say, hey, we know and understand the rules in which we are accepting this property, and we are subject to all of those rules and regulations, one of which is making sure that they maintain an inventory of it. It remains on their property book.
Yep, it's good. Thank you for the update. Appreciate that.
So Judge, that'd be my first question is, who maintains the property book? Who maintains the Madison County property book?
We do through we do that electronically in all reality, we've had 30 years of stuff, so it's been a big task. Thankfully, Chief and his leadership, Kendra and Jesse and Chris and some of the others that have been super involved in this from a CSEP perspective and other team members as well, have pulled that together. KYM will now have a copy of it. FEMA will now have a copy of it, and then we will have a copy of it in which we will be audited on from this point forward.
But it resides, we have
Yeah.
it, a document, but it really, I would say the agency that's going to fall under be our emergency management agency.
Reason I asked, during my 20 years in the Army, property books is a big deal. One of the things that you're responsible for is inventory and equipment on that property book yearly. So are we going to keep up that property yearly? Is that how it's going to work?
Well, and we do that already with our county property and equipment and our policies and procedures related to the disposition and maintaining that from both an insurance perspective and how we do that, but also in how we maintain our inventory. The serial numbers is logged, and you know, if someone is going to get rid of stuff, we have a system. I think we call it asset tracks. Because, you know, we love tracks.
Tracks, yeah.
But where we track that and it goes through. So even if we have a car at the road department in which is going to be sold off as surplus, we follow our asset policy, which is outlined in our administrative code, as well as making sure that it's documented. And there's like a little packet, I'll say, that says, because you have to put fair market value and you have to do all these other things. So that kind of keeps that. So each year we can print off that property book or a copy of it or an Excel spreadsheet of it and say, yes, okay, Chief, I know where this is at, this is at, this is at, and we lay eyes on it. Now the problem has been, you know, we were coming from behind with 30 years of stuff. And so
That wasn't always had to.
we had different people here
Yeah.
who may have known where those things were or were not, or there's been 3 radio systems that have been part of this. So to say that a huge undertaking was taken on by our emergency management and CSEP team over the course of the last 6 months is the understatement of a century.
Yeah.
Well, at any given time, in the last 11 years since I've been here, the CSEP budget was $70 million. So, I mean, that's a lot of stuff, if you will. What about the chemical antidote? Where'd that go? Where's that at?
That all has been disposed of and through a medical clearinghouse that disposes of that. So that is not something that we will keep moving forward.
It's gone. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it. We do have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2025-080. If there's no other conversation, discussion, call the roll.
Pastor Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, Resolution 2025-081, Professional Services Agreement for Advocacy Services. Jill.
This is the resolution of the Madison County Fiscal Court authorizing the county judge executive to enter into a professional services agreement for advocacy services. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court recognizes the importance of effectively advocating for the needs and priorities of Madison County at the local, state, and federal levels of government. And whereas the Fiscal Court desires to engage a professional firm or individual with expertise in governmental affairs, public policy, and advocacy to represent and advance those interests of Madison County. And whereas such services will include, but are not limited to, legislative monitoring, strategic communications, policy development, grant opportunity identification, and representation of Madison County's priorities before elected officials, agencies, and organizations. Whereas the Fiscal Court finds it in the best interest of Madison County to authorize professional services agreement for advocacy service to support the county's goals and initiatives. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution as follows. That the Fiscal Court does hereby approves entering into a professional services agreement for advocacy services with Stoll, Keenan, Ogden Government Relations, LLC. That the county judge executive is authorized to negotiate and execute and deliver said agreement and any related document subject to review by the county attorney on behalf of Madison County. That compensation for such services shall be paid from the approved fiscal court budget in accordance with the terms of the said agreement.
Thank you, Jill. Members of the court, you've heard Resolution 2025-081. What's the pleasure of the court?
I move to forward it on for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is personnel. Ms. Jessica, good morning.
Morning. Members of the court would like to ask you all to approve the hiring recommendations this time.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the hiring recommendations. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. Next is employee spotlight. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. I am proud and excited to recognize a member of the finance team, Elizabeth Cordell, or Liz. And this is what a colleague said about Liz. Liz is great to work with and goes out of her way to help others. It is obvious that she strives to be a great teammate. When we are learning to use SpinMap or how to ensure our bills and vendors are paid, she goes an extra mile in making sure we know how to properly complete the process. She continually takes extra time to help others when you know it often puts off something else she could be doing herself. I am grateful for her and how helpful she is every time I call or send an email. I have no doubt that she is the exact same way with every employee and vendor. She is a very valuable part of the team, and while she is often behind the scenes, her role in making sure all of our vendors are paid and on time is incredibly important. Thank you, Liz, for all that you do. And I couldn't agree more. I think she's probably watching, anticipating the approval of the claim so she can cut our checks right now. So great job to Liz.
Yeah, I appreciate her a bunch. Smiling face. It's good. Thank you, Lizzo. I call her Lizzo. Yeah. So. All right, next is judge's report. I've got a few announcements. Madison Southern's homecoming parade will be Thursday, September 11th, beginning at 6 p.m. The Eagles will play Wayne County on Friday, September the 12th at 7:30 p.m. Please be mindful of road closures and increased traffic in the area down here in Berea. Adams Buick GMC's First Responder Day will be on Saturday, September 13th. Derek, you can get that information out to all of our folks and Chief, if he's watching, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They'll have fire trucks, police cars, ambulances, and live helicopter landing. That'll be fun. So for those in the community that want to participate in the First Responder Day, Adams Buick on September 13th at 10 a.m. to 1. Berea's annual Spoon Bread Festival will be Friday through Sunday, September 19th through the 21st. At Memorial Park and the Russell Acton Folk Center. Please be mindful of road closures, increased traffic. It's always a wonderful event for the community, man. People from all in, it's always packed. So I pray for some good weather. Household Hazardous Waste Tox Away Day will be on Saturday, October 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Madison County Road Department South, located at 208 Clarksville Lane in Richmond. There at the 420, just past the south of the 421-25 split. Visit our Madison County, Kentucky's Facebook page or call the Solid Waste Department at 859-624-4709 for more information. For those that are watching, for those that are here, please help us get that message out. So these are any kind of oil-based paints, solvents, batteries, mercury thermometers, old tube TVs. This is an event that we have every year, and what's so important about this event is that it keeps that stuff out of our creeks, out of our roadside ditches, gives a place for citizens to be able to dispose of some of those oils and things like that that they've accumulated in their barns or garages. It's not tires. Tires is a different event that we have with every third year with the transportation cabinet. This is the household hazardous waste. The other thing that sometimes citizens get confused on is latex paints. Latex paints, they don't accept. It's just oil-based paints. Latex paints is you can pour kitty litter in the bucket of latex paint. You can put sawdust in it, anything that would soak up that latex paint, and then you can just throw it away in the trash. So visit our website at www.madisoncountyky.gov/community events to see a list of some of the events happening throughout our community. If you have an event you would like to feature on our page, just simply click the Submit an Event button and complete the form. And then last court, I think when we were announcing the tax rates, just for everybody's knowledge, the school board hadn't voted yet because I think their meeting was the following Thursday or something, I believe. So their rate this year was 61.8, and their real property rate last year was 62.6. So it actually went down just a little bit. All right.
Praise the Lord.
All right. That's the end of my report. Comments from magistrates. Billy Ray.
You know, we've lost a couple of pillars in the community this past week. Evan McCord and Harold Richardson. And I got to mention George Hill too. He was a legend out in Waco. But Harold and Evan were big in the agricultural community and on the fair board, and they carried a lot of weight, and they'll be greatly missed. Mm-hmm. Three fine gentlemen, and anyway, I just want to recognize those folks for their service. And
I had the honor, Billy Ray, to attend Evan's funeral yesterday, and man, I was so proud of John. John did a great job, just in a tribute to his brother.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, what a man could get up there and, man, I'd be so emotional if that was my brother. I could think about how proud of John I was of him yesterday and him being able to hold himself together, and it was a great tribute to his brother. Yeah. So I know Evan would have been proud.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Thanks, Billy Ray. Tom.
Judge, I just wanted to say that here, I guess it was last week, Brian and we had the opportunity to go see the dedication of the World War II.
Oh, yeah.
And World War I, Korean War Memorial outside of the courthouse. Man, that's just fantastic. They did a super job over that. You know, one of the things that I learned from that, which I'd known I had just forgotten, as I was up looking at the memorabilia that folks had brought, was a book there that had pictures and death certificates and letters and things in it from a gentleman named William Slusher. And as I stood there and looked at that, I thought, man, that sure sounds, it turns out that was my great uncle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so to see his name on there, my cousins were there, and so got the picture with that, and I was just really impressed by all that. But everyone who's on that, listen, I'm going to tell you something. World War II, all of them, Korean War, World War II, World War I, those folks are American heroes. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you, the things that they went through is just, you can't fathom the things that they endured and the things that they suffered, and to pay the ultimate sacrifice that we all can sit right here today freely. It's just, you just can't pat them on the back enough for the sacrifices that them and their family made. Also, Judge had this opportunity this morning to be up to Boone Tavern with the Leadership Kentucky and sit on a panel with Jill and some of our other elected officials, and it's just good to be able to have the opportunity to speak to future Kentucky leaders. And so I really enjoyed that. Last thing, if anyone needs me, they can reach me. Oh, no, one more thing. Listen, I've heard that song twice now. Thank you so much for coming. I'm amazed every time I hear it. You have such a talent and such a gift for writing, and that we really appreciate you coming today.
Yeah.
Anyone needs me, Judge, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Brian?
Just listen to the judge's report, all the events that go on in our community. It takes an army of people to pull stuff like that off. And our community is so blessed to have, people that volunteer and give their time. And as Tom was talking about, our veterans that have, gave the ultimate sacrifice. We owe a tremendous debt of gratitude for what they do. And just like, Bobby's song, it's our hometown, it's something to be proud of. And we appreciate that song and what it means. And get off that subject. And roads, we got roads done in District 1. That'll be all that'll be done this year, but we're glad to get all those done, and they look really good. So thanks to the road department and the work that they're doing and keeping our roads in good shape. And Harold Richardson, he was just a tremendous person. Pleasure to get to meet him and know him, and he'll be missed.
Yeah.
Be missed, and thankful for what he does.
Yeah.
Other than that, Judge, just glad to be here.
Glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah, Judge, I too wanted to continue to thank Scott and the road department for their paving. I know they've got some additional to do, but also I wanted to bring up again that the state highway department should start doing some more additional mowing here very soon with their contract mowing crews in September. And I wanted to remind the folks at Crutcher Pike once again that bridge construction is going to be taking place. So be patient. It'll probably take 3 weeks, maybe 4, but I know our crew will do an excellent job, and they'll be focusing on trying to get that finished as soon as possible so that our citizens won't have anything that they have to endure for too long a period of time. And I'm good. Thank you.
One good thing, Steve, is they already fixed the one about 100 feet away, and it's still standing.
Yes.
So thank you. Yes. Thank you. I think they'll do good. Yeah. Kenny, you got anything to say?
I was thinking about Harold at George Hill, my wife's uncle's funeral the other day. And if you could find someone in this community that had a negative thing to say about you, I'll give you $1 million. I can't imagine the number of hours that he has volunteered in his lifetime. Mm-hmm. And one was he worked elections for us. And Harold called me, and he that's when we worked 12-hour days, just election day. And he called me, and that's when way back when we had more Democrats than Republicans. Mm-hmm. And we usually struggle to find Republicans to work because it's got to be even. And Harold said, now, I will work if you need me, but I don't want to work. So even though he was, in a polite way, he told me, leave me alone. But if you got to have me, call me. Yeah. And I always appreciate Harold, and I just want to say happy day.
Yeah, happy day.
Happy day.
Yeah, that's why I say it today. Harold was a good friend of my grandfather's, and growing up in First Baptist Church, I mean, I never knew First Baptist Church with either. I mean, when I started, it was Harold Sr. I mean, I remember Harold Sr., his daddy, when I was a kid in First Baptist. But when my grandfather passed away, my grandfather was pretty handy. He could fix stuff, and he knew a lot about construction and just anything and everything. And he was always Harold's go-to guy. When a doorknob was broke, when something was broke at his house, Harold always called my grandfather. Well, when my grandfather died, Harold started calling me. So it hadn't been 3 months ago, I replaced his shower door for him. Just to something my granddad passed on to me that Harold and I had a bond together, man. He meant a lot to me. He's almost like a grandfather. So good man. I'm going to miss him, I have to say. So, Counselor?
I don't have anything.
All right. Derek, you good?
Don't have anything,
All right.
thanks, Judge.
All right. Comments from department heads? Jill?
I did remiss, or I guess we didn't get the information quite ready to share this, but with the kind words about the veterans and the Veterans Memorial, wanted to pass along that we do have a soldier that will be returning home from missing in action from Vietnam on September the 18th. So we don't know a ton of details. This is very rare to get somebody to return from Vietnam, but we will. They will have a proper escort, all of those things. I know some of our first responders are already aware and are prepared to do and pay their respects, as well as our fire department. But wanted to let you guys know and want to let the community know to anticipate that. We anticipate it'll probably be sometime September 18th, the afternoon. But we should know more maybe by Friday or Monday at the latest to know what those details will be. But just another example of how we can show our respects for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
And they're coming back to Berea.
And be coming back to Berea, to Lake's Funeral Home. So that will be on the 18th. And then also, our friends at the DAR did not mention that we will do a unified bell ringing in honor of Constitution Week next week, September the 17th at 4 p.m., which is the time of the signing of the Constitution. And so Clerk Barger will assist us in ringing the courthouse bell. The First Presbyterian Church in Richmond, as well as the Hall of Justice and other facilities that have community bells will also ring theirs at the same time. So I want to make sure and let you all know that, but also let our community know that that's what that is representing in order to signify the signing of the Constitution. So
I don't know if our bell's been rung since Mark Robbins broke it, has it?
Well, when they wired it, I got a call to come up there and look at something wrong with the clock, and the clock's not plugged in. But the bell does have a cord, and they had plugged the motor for the bell right in the wall, and it was just ring, ring, ring. Oh, it's going to ring as long as it's plugged in. So yeah, it's been rung.
It's been rung?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That story of Mark Robbins breaking the rope. Breaking the rope cracks me up every time I hear it.
Oh, he was so excited.
Yeah.
He gave it a good yank too.
That's good. Anyone else? Any other department heads? Any public comment today? All right. Hearing none. Here you go, Lizzo. Pay the claims and approve the transfers. I need a motion and a second.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Buchan?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next meeting is September 23rd, 2025. That'll be back in our Madison County Fiscal Court room in the Annex building at 135 West Irvin Street in Richmond at 9:30 a.m. Our next meeting is September 23rd, 2025, back in Richmond at 9:30 a.m. Need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So move.
Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Master Buchan?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?